For part A, you're basically listing the domain and range, and then you are simply matching the ordered pairs as they're presented to you in the original problem. And so if you're answering part A, you're actually should be answering parts B and C as well, because you should be able to tell from the mapping that there are two values that repeat in the domain. And as I said, you basically have the domain and range. The only thing maybe you're missing are braces, and your numbers should have already been in numerical order, and you should not have repeated any numbers. Question number 2, part B fails the vertical line test, therefore part A is the only function. Question number 3, the slope is 0, which is different than undefined. That's different than no slope. Part B is negative 1/3. Question number 4, part A, the easy ones were the slope and the y-intercept. How do you find the x-intercept? You simply make y equal to 0. So x is 2/3. For part B, little tricky. This is a vertical line, so it has an undefined slope. It has an x-intercept of -4, and it seemed like a lot of people were on to the idea that there was no y-intercept, but a lot of people put 0. 0 is a number, 0 is an actual spot on the y-axis, and so the correct answer is there isn't a y-intercept. Part C, the easiest two should have been the y-intercept and the x-intercept, because you can use the thumb trick to get both of those. What should have been the most tricky is to get the slope, because you would need to get this into slope-intercept form. So the slope is 2/3. And finally, part D, also the y-intercept and the x-intercept should have been the easiest, because you can see them right there on the graph, and then the slope is down 1 and over 2. Question number 5, part A, most likely you would go to slope-intercept form with a y-intercept of -2 and a slope of positive 3/5. And for part B, what you would do most likely is go to the thumb trick by first adding 10 to the other side, and you get a y-intercept of 2 and an x-intercept of 5. Converting to standard form, first thing you need to do is distribute. And then you want to bring the 2x over here, and you want to bring the 3 to the other side. So part A, that's all you need to do. 2x plus y equals 5. Part B, we needed perhaps a little bit more work. And the truth is, the easiest way to do this is to get rid of the fraction first, or you could simply add the x to the other side. Either way, you're going to have to get rid of the fraction. So that is not a final answer. So we need to multiply everything by 3, including the y and including the 2. And that allows us to get 2x plus 3y equals 6. Question number 7, fairly straightforward. Point slope. I gave you a point, gave you the slope. This has to be y plus 1, because it's y minus minus 1, and then x minus 3. For question number 8, it's the same question, just asking for a different form. So the easiest way to do it is to just use your answer from above and start converting it by distributing the -4/3. And once you have that, all you have to do is subtract 1 plus 3. 3 is the y-intercept. Question number 9 had a slope of 0, therefore it must be a horizontal line, and horizontal lines look like y equals some number. Question number 10, since we want parallel, we need to first find the slope between -1, 4 and 2, -3, and then we can use that slope and this point to figure out the equation. You could do this either in y equals mx plus b, or you could have used point slope. Use point slope like that, doesn't matter. So we'll start by distributing the negative 7/3. That'll give us 28/3, and then all we need to do is subtract 2 from both sides, so we need a common denominator. So that's 6/3, and so we end up with y equals negative 7/3 x plus 22/3. Question number 11, since we wanted perpendicular, we're going to have to convert from standard form to slope-intercept form so that we can figure out the slope is 1/3, and therefore our slope is going to be -3. So we're going to take a slope of -3, we're going to take this point, and I'll do this one in slope-intercept form. We're looking for that b, and so we plug in -5, we plug in -3, we solve for b, and b is equal to -14. So we end up with an equation y equals -3x minus 14. And last page, word problems. Question number 12. 30 cents per mile and a $15 surcharge. The only thing that perhaps people missed was defining a variable. If you put x, you needed to define what x was. For question number 13, this is a direct variation problem. D equals kt. Distance is varying directly with time. So for Kate's scenario, she has 5 equals 8k, and therefore k equals 5 divided by 8. And then we can just set up a proportion, y over x, 5 over 8, and then 3 miles, x time, solve, and x equals 4.8, or 4 4/5 minutes. And question number 14. Time was x, t, and the record was r or y. We can set up the following ordered pairs. We can simplify the dates with 30 and 70. The slope comes out to be -1/10. The point slope equation simply looks like this. And some people lost points in part E because all you need to do is add 46 to the other side. Calculator ready means make the calculator or let the calculator do most of the work for you. You don't need to distribute this -1/10 and add 46 to it. That's not what I'm looking for. Calculator ready means as little work as possible so we can get it in our calculator and let the calculator do most of the work.